Hi everyone, this is Gail from Rainbow Food Rocks, Rainbow Healing and Wellness, and Rainbow Herbals, author of this book right here. And today we're going to make ALOO GOBI, which is potato cauliflower. That's what it translates into in English. And we have our potatoes over here. Let's see if you can see that. Let me bring you over. There we go. So we have our potatoes. I already chopped up our onions. We have a bunch of spices over here. And instead of tomatoes, I'm going to use crushed tomatoes just to make it go a little faster. And then over here, I have my ginger, my peppers, and my fresh cauliflower. And if you've been following my videos, I am making this out of my CSA basket. Of course, I'm adding the spices and the crushed tomato, but I just want to show you just how many ways you can use all those different food items from that basket. So I've been posting some of my older videos from last year when I did this kind of cycle last year, but I didn't get to make all the videos. You can find those on the community section on my channels. There are Rainbow Food Rocks and Rainbow Healing Wellness. Those are the two YouTube channels I have. I'm also on Telegram as Rainbow Food Rocks, on Instagram as both of what I just mentioned, and on Billy Carson's Unite the 99. Okay, so let's get to making this. So I'm going to take my olive oil, and the first thing I'm going to do is use my caraway seeds and my cumin seeds. And notice I already repackaged them into glass. I'm slowly transitioning all of my spices and herbs into glass, and teas as well. So I'm going to put in the olive oil. Now this recipe I'll probably post later on one of my social media sites. So I'm going to do, let's see here how much olive oil it was. I'm trying to read off here. Oh, okay. So I'm splitting it to 3 tablespoons and 3 tablespoons. So I'm going to eye it, but you'll probably want to use a tablespoon. Another shortcut is there are teaspoons and tablespoons in every single kind of set that people use for spoons. So you can use those as a shortcut if you have a bunch of kids like I do running around while you're doing recipes. Okay, so let's get to the cumin and the caraway. So for cumin, it's going to be 1 teaspoon, and caraway 1 teaspoon. So here's a teaspoon the shortcut way, and we're just going to do 1 of that, and then 1 of the other. It's my caraway seeds. They kind of look similar, but they do taste and smell differently, and I make a wonderful bread that's in my recipe book with those as well. Let's put on the burner to medium. I forgot to do that. And then we're just going to, and you can see what we have here, we're just going to kind of let them cook in the oil a little bit. And then while we're waiting, let's go look at the next step. So the next step is, now you notice I did all my prep work and I showed you that ahead of time. So in my book it does have a plan ahead section that tells you how to do the prep work, and then you go into the once ready, and that's when you're ready to make the recipe. So I did the oil, the 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I put in the cumin seeds and the caraway seeds. You can use a large pot, or you can use what I'm using here. This one is very wide, so this works as well. And then we're going to add the ginger and the chilies just as soon as this gets cooking a little bit. So you can use your spoon or spatula and just kind of spread them around. It's going to take a few minutes for that to warm up. I always like to tap it off a little bit. And I don't know if anyone has noticed, but this is a New York City apron. My mom gave it to me. So I'm originally from New York. And I thought it'd be cute to kind of wear it and put it in a video. I'll have to let my mom know to watch this video. But you can see like the whole subway and everything, so I thought that was kind of cool. All right, so that's going to be cooking for a few minutes. What else should I let you know? Well, if you haven't checked out rainbowherbals.com, I don't know what you're missing out on. You're missing out on a lot. I'm having a 25% off sale. It's Valentine, capital VALINTINE, VAL, I can't even spell right now, ENTINE. So Valentine, capitals, gets you 25% off. I know, it's hard to spell on the spot when I'm doing these. And what else should I mention? I think I still have the ginger sale going on too. So if you go on my social media, you'll see all the different sales posted. You can check that out. I also have some really great aphrodisiac oils, like Lang Lang is a really awesome aphrodisiac, so you can check that out as well. All right, so that's almost ready for, I'm gonna put in the ginger and the peppers, so you can see here, I already cut them up. And so I put that in. Now for the amounts, you're probably wondering, it was, I have to look at my own recipe book for this. It's 2 jalapenos or green chili peppers and a 2-inch piece of ginger root. So that goes in there. I'm just gonna kind of mix that around. And I'll get to show you. There you go. And unlike other people, I don't actually script these. I don't have these with, nice little layouts of shot by shot and edited. You're getting the real deal as if you're hanging out with me in the kitchen. So I hope you appreciate that. And if you don't, then let me know in a comment below. But I feel like being real at this time is a really nice and important thing. So that's what I'm doing. If you're looking for natural products, I do have a bunch on my store that I make. So I make a deodorant, and it's made out of arrowroot powder, and I'm using my essential oils. So I'm using tea tree, peppermint, and lavender. And then I'm also doing an everything, like an even better bar, even better than everything bar. And the story behind that is my friend, Dr. Paul Cottrell, was looking for me to remake my friend Alana's everything bar. So I called it an even better bar because I tried to take some of those ideas of what she put in hers and put extras. So for instance, mine has comfrey in it, and it has a few other extra goodies that I think are really nice. My kids love it. They use it on their eczema. They use it whenever they have dry skin. It helps right away. It takes away the annoyance, the itch, the pain. They use it on bruises and cuts and scrapes. So that is at rainbowherbals.com. And that 25% off sale when you use the code Valentine, VALENTINE. Now I can spell it. See, I wasn't scripted before. That code will work on all the physical products, but it won't work on the physical book. So if you do get the digital or physical book copy, I believe it doesn't work on that, but it works on all the oils, all the other things that I make, and it works on the chocolates that I sell. So for Valentine's Day, if you're looking for really good high quality chocolate, endorphin chocolates I have on my website. It's very hard to find them in other stores. Go check them out. You're getting 25% off if you use the code Valentine. Let's get back to our recipe. Okay, so now that that has been cooking for a little bit, and I'll just show you how beautiful this is looking. It smells extremely fragrant. What do we need to do next? So I'm just gonna go and read my book. I'm really just reading my book as if I don't know what in the world to do. So that way you get the effect of how to use the book without all the chit chat, of course. All right, so next is mix well, cook for a minute. Now we're gonna place the onion in, and then we're gonna place the turmeric in, so that way it can integrate with all of that. So here's my cut onion. Boink. And then I already measured that out, which is awesome. It's just one onion chopped up. Get that all in there. There we go. That's looking awesome. And give it a nice mix. I don't know why, but suddenly this is making me think of chai. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want chai. Oh, I love chai. I love all the spices. You know, speaking of spices, there's a lot of illnesses going around, and some of the things that I just use in all my recipes turn out to be extremely helpful. And my dandelion herbal coffee has a lot of those things in it, and that's also in the recipe book. If you haven't seen that, oh my gosh, it's really awesome. Tastes great. Tastes like coffee. It has that bitterness, but all the other things mixed in, you don't even notice the dandelion. Now, I'm the type of person, I can eat the raw dandelion. Here you go. But some people can't tolerate that. They haven't gotten used to it. Which I think is kind of interesting, that people think of dandelions as weeds and they're really actually quite medicinal. And a lot of other things. Anyhow, back to what we're doing. So let's read ahead and see what we would do next. So turmeric, I forgot the turmeric powder. And that's the beauty of this book, is like it really does give you step by step by step, in my opinion. All right, turmeric. See how I jarred my turmeric? Look at that. It's so fragrant, and look at that color. I love You can use this also to make certain colors for, like if you're making baked goods and such. All right, so how much turmeric? A half a teaspoon of turmeric. Yeah, you don't want to go overboard with that, it kind of ruins the taste. So I'm just going to use my little cheat here of my teaspoon. And the reason why I'm showing you this, even though I could just bring out like the real teaspoon, is because that's what real life is like. Like when you're busy and you're with kids and you're making something, are you always going to get like the perfect measuring thing? Unless you're baking, probably not. But if you're baking, yeah, you need to, in my opinion, based on my experience. So I'm going to mix that. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing, but I'll bring it over like this, so this way you can see. You see how I'm integrating that? It looks really pretty. I come from an art background and a language background. So for me, when I make my food, I'm thinking about, does it look aesthetically pleasing? Because that's part of getting you into wanting to eat a recipe, or a meal, I should say, and wanting to do a recipe, is like you look at the food and you smell it, so it has to have a good aroma, and you look at it and it looks really nice. And then when you taste it, which of course incorporates the smelling, because that's how you're tasting, then it's just like, for me, I have to make it so it's like firecrackers in your mouth. So I have to incorporate all these different spices and flavors and colors. And it's a nice selling point too if you're trying to make these meals for a kid or for another loved one, and maybe he or she's quite stubborn. So here we go. You can see, ta-da, how pretty that's looking. All right, what's next? Let's look ahead and see. It says mix well, cook for a minute, and then we're going to add the cauliflower in. I'm going to actually, because I didn't pre-cook my potatoes, now in the recipe book it says to pre-cook the potatoes in a shortcut way, which is I usually put them in my slow cooker for like 4 hours on high, and then they're nice and soft and I can just easily add them in the recipe. I have to do it differently, so I'm going to deviate from what's written in my book, just in the aspect that I'm going to actually put in the potatoes earlier than I would, because they're not pre-cooked. So I'm going to put them in with the cauliflower. And it's kind of good for you to see that I'm doing it that way as well. So here we go. And so these were 4 potatoes that I chopped up. And then the cauliflower was a head of cauliflower. And I'm going to put that in. And you can see how, even though normally I would make this in a large pot, because this is so wide, it's working well. I'm just going to get all those little bits in there. This. I'll show you. Ta-da. All right, I'm going to give that a mix. So you got that turmeric integrating with the onions. We're mixing this here. So how are all of you? If you've watched this far, you're awesome. In fact, if you've watched this far, tell me, put in the comments, spaghetti. I've been making spaghetti the last few nights, so the first thing came to my head, spaghetti. I want to see who puts spaghetti in the comments. So you got to use your muscles there. Oops, I'm dropping stuff. That in the sink. And turmeric stains, so you notice I am actually wearing an apron. I have a really nice blue shirt on, and I don't want to get the turmeric on there. Now there are ways to get things like that out, but I don't even want to go there. I love curries, but boy, it's tricky when you're wearing nice clothing. All right, so I got that. Now let's read. I think I do need to add some water. I mean, I just know intuitively, but yeah, it does say you put the cauliflower in with a cup of water. I might be a little more generous because remember I didn't cook the potatoes. So I already have water here. It's double filtered because my whole house is filtered. I do recommend using filtered water, and then I put it through the Brita as well. And so we're going to add some water. That gives this some moisture, and it's going to soften your potatoes. It's going to soften your cauliflower. It's going to help with keeping it so it's not just this dry meh. It is going to soften things so much that it will be a little different than if I didn't do it that way. Now I like that. Each person is different. So this is going to take a little while to cook. And let's see if I can put this a little higher just to kind of speed it up for all of you. So I'm going to increase that. Normally I'd put on the fan, but I don't want to hurt your ears. So let's see what's up next. So what we'll do is I'm going to just jump ahead, even though it's going to cook, and I'm going to go ahead and put the spices in. It says normally cook 10 minutes and then put it in, which is kind of a nice way of doing it, but just so you can see, and then this way we can kind of end the video and I'll post a picture of it. I don't want to keep you on too long because it's already going about 15 minutes. So we already used the caraway seeds and the cumin. So I'm going to take these and put these aside so I don't get confused. And what do I have left? I'm going to use the turmeric already. So we have our fennel seed, our red chili peppers, fenugreek, cayenne, and oh yeah, the crushed tomatoes. Let's see, where am I supposed to add those? And that's the nice thing too, if you take out everything ahead of time, then you can kind of see like, oh, where was I supposed to put that? So where does it say it here? I see. So after you put in the spices, then it says to put it in. And we'll just do that and we'll go through the motions because that'll give this some time to cook while I'm adding things. So we have half a teaspoon of cayenne powder. So I'm just going to open this up. And again, I'm going to do the shortcut way, right? Half a teaspoon. I've been doing this so long, I can definitely do it by sight, but I'll, just for the sake of showing you, show you that way. All right, so cayenne's done. What do we have next? Fenugreek. That's 1 teaspoon of fenugreek powder. Also, if anyone was wondering where I was the last few weeks until I started making more videos, I was having some dental issues, so it was kind of hard to make videos for a little while. Okay, a teaspoon of fenugreek. So I'm going to put a teaspoon in. Once we get all those in, we're going to make sure to mix that, of course. Fenugreek smells really nice. Okay, fennel seed powder. So we're going to do a teaspoon of that. Oh my gosh, fennel. Fennel saved me with my dental issues. A little tip. If you make this into a tea, you brew it, it really helps the mouth. And I read too that it helps with gingivitis and stuff. I didn't have gingivitis, but I'm just saying, like, fennel came to the rescue and I would have never expected it. Fennel, cardamom, and clove really came to the rescue when I had a horrible tooth problem, which turned into, unfortunately, root canal. Anyhow. And we have the red chili flakes. So we're going to do a teaspoon of red chili flakes. And yes, I do have 3 kids, so bear with me as I try to make these videos. Sometimes I think, oh my gosh, should I just even not make the video? And then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to make the video. But they're doing well. They're being really awesome and quiet. All right, so we're going to mix all those spices, and then we'll add in the tomatoes. There's no reason why we can't add them in now. Again, normally I'll cook this and wait, but I do want to just show you how to put everything together. And the tomatoes will be the last major thing besides cilantro. And the cilantro will be really at the very, very end. So I'll show you the tomatoes and then we'll end this and I'll post a picture. Oh, there goes something. Okay. I got that mixed well enough for now. So for the tomatoes, normally it's 2 diced tomatoes. So I have here some crushed. I'm going to do about a cup's worth. So just looking at this, I'm going to do about that. And that's going to be about 2 because this is already pureed. So that will go a long way. And then as I go through, I can always add more. This is just a shortcut. Oh my God, can I open this? There we go. How to use those muscles. I'm using Jovial, by the way. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just letting you know. The reason why I'm doing that is as most people know that are watching this video, I do everything wheat-free, dairy-free, corn-free, soy-free, egg-free, yeast-free, very low sugar. If I do use sugar, it's either maple syrup, honey, coconut nectar or sometimes a little bit of coconut sugar. Otherwise, most of what I do doesn't have any of that. So let's go ahead and mix that in, and then we'll kind of see if we need to add a little bit more. Again, this needs to cook a little longer, so this is probably going to need, instead of 10 minutes, like the shortcut way says in the book, it's probably about 20 minutes. Now this recipe is on page 98 and 99 in my book. So if you have the ebook version, you can look that up. And this goes really well with if you want to make like chana masala, it's a chickpea dish. Or if you want to take this, you can make my aloo gobi rice paper rolls. You just add the chickpeas and the green peas to this, and then you can take rice paper and put it in water, soften it up, put this inside, roll it up, and then I have in my book a tamarind sauce, and it's like a tamarind chutney and a cilantro chutney, and both of them are fantastic. Sometimes if I'm really not feeling like making it into a roll, I'll just take all this. I'll take the chutneys, I'll just throw it in and mix it in. My favorite would be the tamarind chutney. The cilantro one is great too, though. It has cilantro in it. It's highly detoxifying. It's really nice for the tummy because of the mint. So I'm going to show you this. The only other thing you would add is the cilantro, and here you go. You see that? So that needs to cook. It's not quite done yet, but that's all you need pretty much. I've increased the heat. It's going to cook for about 20 minutes or so. And the cilantro, you would just add a half a cup of cilantro at the end. You could put this with some rice. You could put this with some cauliflower fried rice. I have that recipe in my book as well. So I will leave you with that, and I will post a video, and I'll see you in the next, I'll post a picture, and I'll see you in the next video. There's that for me being real. All right, thank you for tuning in. Ciao.